Greeting degenerates, St. Michael here, and today I'm going to be discussing my recent rebranding. I've changed the name on my YouTube, on pretty much everywhere, at least the name, not so much the at, because I still want to keep St. Michael. But before that, I want to kind of go into how I became St. Michael in the first place. It kind of all started just randomly. I was working at a music shop, and we were starting to get a recital together for all the students, for my friend who's a guitar teacher. And I would bring in my amp because it was useful for bass, guitar, and all that, and it helped the shop, you know. And my buddy, out of nowhere, was like, "Hey, you should put your name on that so it doesn't get, because it could get picked up and put on the shop and say, hey, it gets sold from underneath me." And I don't know where he got this idea, but he came up with the name. Hey, you should write St. Michael on it. And I kind of looked at him weird. I'm like, you've never called me that before. So I was hesitant because I'm like, I don't know the Saints very well. I don't know what they're really. I didn't know this one. So I looked it up and I'm like, wait, that's the Archangel Michael. That's interesting because that's where I get my name from. That is who I'm named after. So I took on the name St. Michael, and I've kept that as my name everywhere for years now, for since then. And yes, it evolved into San Miguel because I game with some people, and they would play this acoustic guitar sound effect, which is funny because they didn't know me yet. And it just kind of morphed into the Spanish translation, San Miguel, and then it altered, and that kind of how I established myself in this community and kind of stuck out. And so I never really thought of making videos, really. It was just kind of a thing that I was like, man, it'd be kind of cool, man. I like watching Critical Drinker, Sinatra Says, all those guys that I always thought, man, I wish I could do that. It just seemed, I don't know why, but it seemed difficult. And then I think about it, I'm like, I'm just voicing my opinion behind a camera. How hard is that? Obviously, there's editing and all that. But so I started slowly building up and making my own videos. And I've actually been having a little fun with it. It's interesting, because I've been voicing my opinions, mostly unfiltered, on Discord for a long time, ever increasingly so, because I've started to just not give a fuck. So I kept making videos, and I was thinking, St. Michael is not very searchable. If I want to, maybe expand, and right now it's just a thing I do, just a little hobby, I'm going to have something that stands out. A name that stands out and is easier to search for. So I looked at the people that I was influenced by, mainly Razor. I'm a big fan of Razor, the Rageaholic. Um, and I thought, what would my name be? I wanted to keep the saint idea, the very Catholic cathedral-esque vibe, but also kind of go into why I'm doing this. And why I'm doing this is just because I'm irritated and annoyed at the world. And it's fucking just retarded zombie-like people that constantly flood the internet. And I like making fun of them. So I went with, the idea of I'm just a saint online, calling out the demons in politics and pop culture. And what do you do when you call out demons? Well, that's, you're exercising them. So I ran with that idea, but I'm like, what do I do? It's got to be a little more than that. I got to, do a play on words. And again, I look to people that I am influenced by, who I enjoy. Rageaholic, Neurotic, Heel vs. Babyface. These are all names that, no one else has. So I ran through the gauntlet of different names that I could, or different words that I could pair with Vexorcist, that could kind of flow into it. And one that popped in was the word Vex. And it clicked. because to vex something or to be vexed is to be irritated, to be annoyed. And I'm like, that flows right into the word exorcism, just as a play on words, but it also flows into what my goal for this is to, just talk about what annoys me. And I have a multitude of things to talk about and an ample amount of opinions. So it just worked, and that's where I'm going with this. And I just hope that, I could build up to it and see what happens. I mean, like I said, right now it's just a hobby, just the thing to do to express and get my opinions out there. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's all I got to say. Cheers. God bless.
The power of Christ compels you! The power of Christ compels you!